Hello. I know I look a little bit crazy. I have spent the afternoon in my new garden sorting out some plants, and I wanted to come on because I've vlogged the whole process basically. I've vlogged each day that the guys were here doing the work on the garden. But I realized I've never kind of properly introduced it, so I thought, right, I'm going to film that intro. I'm obviously not looking my best because I've just spent the afternoon gardening, but hair's a little bit messy and a little bit wild. But anyway, I'm so happy to say that the garden is done. Like, the first phase of the garden is done. It will be happening in phases. I've vlogged each day, as I've said. You'll see the different hold-ups that have happened, from weather to a skip not turning up, etc. But you know what? They got there in the end. They started on a Tuesday after a bank holiday Monday, and they finished the following Monday, and they worked the Saturday too. So like, they really worked their socks off getting this garden done. The front garden got transformation. The back garden got a massive glow up. I'll pop up a little inspo picture here. It's not like a mood board or a Pinterest like inspo picture. It's just a picture that I took of my back garden from the bedroom window to basically illustrate what I wanted. So the parts in yellow were a patio. The shed needed to be moved from the right hand corner to the bottom left hand corner. There was going to be a path connecting the two. The bits in red were raised beds, or just a bit where the grass was going to be taken out and I was going to put in bedding plants. Not sure if they're going to be raised yet or not. I'm just a little bit debating that. Part of me thinks it would be really nice, but then the other part's like, oh, I don't know. I've got like quite a clean edge, so maybe it won't. Anyway, I kind of go all of that in whichever day the video that's in. And then that part in green at the bottom is the trees. Now, the trees won't be happening until October, November time. Just because I think that's a better time to plant trees, but I don't know, I might have been given misinformation there. But that's in my head when I'm thinking about getting the trees at the bottom. And then the bits in red, I don't know. One project might happen this year. I'm not sure. Need to see how funds develop. And the bit on the right hand side might be next year. We'll see. But I'm very happy that it's all done. I'm very happy that I've got some lovely new garden furniture. I just need the weather to remember that it's coming up for summer, and I'd really like it to just be sunny, because all my money has gone into my garden, which means there is no summer holiday for me. I am going to be in my garden all summer long. I'm really hoping that the weather plays ball and I have a phenomenal summer in the UK from my garden. I'm hoping that I'll get to do lots of hosting with friends and family. Yeah, I've never really had the space to do it. I lived in a flat. There was no outside space, and the flat wasn't too big. And even in the house, like, I felt like I haven't really had. I've done a bit of hosting, little bit of hosting, but nothing massive. So yeah, having the garden just feels like the house has almost doubled in size, because I've got all this outdoor space, and when the weather's lovely, it's lovely to be out there. So yeah, I am so happy with this. This feels like one of the biggest transformations that I've done in the house. And I know it's not the house, it's the garden, but I just feel like the impact that it's going to have is huge. So I am so excited that it's finally done. Just wish the weather was a little bit better, but it's still June. Hopefully it will get a little bit better over the coming months. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. You'll see all the different days and all the transformation. I'll probably add in the clips as well of what the garden looked like before, with me talking about what I thought I was going to do. The plans don't necessarily change too much. I don't think they do anyway. But I'll put it all in so you can see basically from before it started to day 6, I think it was in the end. And then obviously what it looks like now. So yeah, enjoy. Let me know what your favourite bit about the garden is below. Let me know some good plant recommendations as well, because I've literally got, it's a northwest facing garden. So I get sunshine in certain areas in the morning, and then I get a lot of sunshine in the afternoon in other areas. So if you've got good plant recommendations for ones that enjoy more shady spots and then ones that enjoy full sun, let me know, because I've got both in this garden. And yeah, I definitely need some more plants. So thank you. I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you soon. Bye. This is the progress that has been made on day 1. So as you can see, we've had a little bit of changes happening. I'll just come around this way. So they've started to dig out the patio. So this is the extender bit. Obviously I've got the shed. The shed will be moved to the bottom there. But this patio is going to start this side. This gets the most amount of sun. So I wanted this, let me move back so you can all see. I wanted this to be a really big kind of seating area that I could have. The dream is that I'd get a pergola in here probably later this year or maybe into next summer. And because it's such a sun trap, I really wanted it to be just a nice big space. So that's the plan. And then we obviously have some current patio here, but this is also being extended. So there is no skip. The skip didn't arrive today. It's been a bank holiday. Hence the reason that there's still quite a bit of turf just sitting here. But the skip's coming tomorrow, so they can move all of that, put the rest of this stuff, I don't know what this stuff is, whatever this stuff is, down over that side so they can start to lay the patio, which is really exciting. I'm going for the same tiles that I've already got. These are obviously a little bit dark because it's been raining. Some of these are getting replaced. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited for this all to happen, and I'm so happy that it finally is happening. Obviously, the shed is being moved. I'll show you where that's going. So the shed is going into this base here. I've not done any of this. The builders have done the frame in a timber, and then I think they're going to fill it and then level it, and then the shed's being moved to go there. Wanted this to be as tight as possible to the side of the fence and at the back there as well. I don't need side or back access, so that's what they're doing with that. And then there will be a path that goes up this way to my patio. Now this is, I'm not gonna lie, this path's a bit bigger than I thought it was gonna be. We are pretty much, yeah, we're at over 2 fence panels. So, and I think they're 6 feet wide, those fence panels. So yeah, the path is a bit longer than I thought, but actually not a problem. I think that's going to be perfect. The path is going to be a stepping stone path with Cotswold stone in between, and then a buff trim as well. And then my plan is that because the path doesn't go straight up to the fence panels, it's going to be basically from the middle of the base there. I think it's going to be about 1 meter wide going all the way up. So my plan is that the other side I'll have a gap, and I'm going to put in some raised planters and put in lots of plants, because I've just become that person who absolutely is slightly obsessed with their plants. So as you can see, these are where some of the plants are currently living because there's nowhere else for them to go. I am also getting the front done, so I'll give a little update of that in a sec. But yeah, these are where my plants are currently living. A lot of them are already potted. These lavenders, gosh, they look awful, but these I tried to save from the front. I'm not entirely sure I did that much of a good job. But anyway, this is where we are at the end of day 1. And I'm very excited to see how the days progress. And this is what the front is currently looking like. Obviously, it's seen better days. I did end up digging out a couple of plants, as you can see, because I wanted them to go into pots. They're basically free plants. It would make sense to not try and dig up the ones that had clearly survived. The bamboo obviously has not survived, so that will not be staying. The pot will, because it's a lovely pot, but the plant, unfortunately, no. This path is being widened. I think that's happening tomorrow. They're definitely digging out tomorrow. That's what the guy said anyway, because they've got to lay the membrane and then put the stone above it. But yeah, this path is going to be extended to the left-hand side of the drain pipe there. Going to extend that. That's how wide it's going to be, just to get a bit more space at the front. I've also got a really pretty wreath coming for the door, which I'm very excited. And then this bit did used to house 2 giant lavender bushes that are now in pots that are probably slightly too small for them, but you know, we're just trying to make things work, so that's why that looks quite bare. I also had a couple of little plants there which I've dug up because my mum gave me those, and so I wanted to put them into pots to hopefully see them thrive. This is just weeds pretty much right now. There's some plants in that, but it's mainly weeds. So the work is going to go up until the end of the property here. Then I've got this kind of like middle no man's land, as you will. They're taking all of this out and they're just going to lay it with some purple slate. I've also got some really lovely looking weeds down there, which will hopefully be coming up as well. But yeah, this is where the front is currently looking. Hopefully tomorrow it's going to look a little bit different. And here we are at the start of day 2. As you can see, that giant pile of turf and everything else has gone. The skip arrived this morning. It's all been loaded in. They've just put down a layer of, don't know, something to put down before they can lay the patio. I think they're looking to start to lay tomorrow. The other new addition today is the path has been dug out. So this is the path that's going to be running down to the shed at the bottom there. Tomorrow's plan, they've said, is to lay whatever this brown stuff is on here, level it, then put in the slabs, and then Friday morning, because today's Wednesday, Friday morning will be the shed being moved. So the shed currently over here is coming to here, and then this is going to be a stepping stone path. We're having the paving slabs with some Cotswold stone either side, so it's going to look really nice. The plan for that green space there is I'm going to put in planters. Not yet. The first phase was obviously getting all the work done. The next phase will be actually getting it all looking nice and pretty. So yeah, that's the plan, that this green space here, which is a lot longer than I thought. I thought the shed was going to pretty much come to about here, if not slightly more here. And obviously it's not. I've got a lot more space here. So this is a good sized path. And then we're going to have the planters that side there. Some nice little flowers in. I have to say, these flowers are actually doing really well. I'm very impressed with myself. We've still over this side, obviously this side's not really, nothing's changing, to be fair. So these are all the plants still that got pulled out. This area, I don't think anything's happened really here either, other than they've leveled it. So this is ready, obviously, to be laid. We have the shed there that's hopefully going to be moved on Friday. And then we have this big old patio space. Honestly, when I look at it now, I'm so excited. I cannot wait for this to be finished, because I've just got so many visions of what this space is going to look like. This is going to be my nice, like, seating, dining area. This gets the sun for most of the day. Obviously right now it's a bit cloudy, but usually this would be bathed in sunshine. So this is the place where I'm just going to be enjoying the sunshine in my garden. And then if we pan over here, we've got some more patio. I'm not sure what's going to go on here yet. It's just going to be nice to have so much choice and so much patio space. Like, just can't imagine having this much patio to be able to just, I don't know, furnish and stuff. I definitely need to get more plants. I realised as I was potting up some plants that I do not have anywhere near enough. The front is getting dug up tomorrow, so I'll show you what that looks like today. But yeah, I am so excited to finally see this vision taking shape. I just can't wait for this to be finished. Hopefully another 2 or 3 days. And here we are at the end of day 3, which is really exciting because I have quite a big patio now, which is really good. Obviously there is a slight colour differentiation. Knew that because the ones I'm stood on are the existing tiles. These are the newer ones. They've obviously just cleaned it all, but look how much more space I've got on my patio. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Let me walk you around this way and I'll show you what else they've done. Down here on the shed base, we've got some slabs as well. So I don't think the shed's going to be moved now till possibly Monday. It's end of day Thursday right now. So this is where we are. This is what it's currently looking like. They've made this look so good as well. So rather than having like concrete here, we've just got wooden sleepers. So it just looks so much nicer and cleaner. So yeah, really happy with that. And then tomorrow, I think the plan is to do this bit, do the path, get my stepping stones in, I think get some Cotswold stone in as well. And fill in this extra bit of patio here, because obviously this needs to be laid as well. This is about 9 meters square, this one. And then the shed can be moved a little bit later on Monday, which will be really nice. So it's end of day Thursday. I think they're definitely doing obviously tomorrow, and then I think the plan is to come back for a little bit of Saturday as well, and then they'll be back Monday. So yeah, this is what it looks like from this angle. It's just so much nicer to have all of this space. I've honestly been thinking about this in my head for probably the last year, maybe not a year, maybe the last 9 months, and kind of planning it and saving for it. So to see it finally come to fruition is, it's just so nice. I can't tell you how nice it is, and I really cannot wait until I get to fill all of this up with furniture and pots and plants and everything else. So yeah, I'm very excited. They also started out on the front today, so I'll show you that too. Here is the front. So as you can see, they've dug all of this up. That plant still needs to be dealt with. It's still dead. They're going to be extending this, and this is all dug up as well, which is just, oh, it's so nice to see it all nice and cleared. Still need to sort out those little plants down there, but this is all cleared now. So this is all ready for the guys to come back. I think they might be doing this tomorrow actually, which would be really nice, so that the front can be done. It's just going to look so much nicer and so much cleaner. Yeah, very excited for it all to be done. So it's the end of day 4. This is what it's currently looking like. I have a path, which is really exciting. And I also have this bit completely paved. So if I walk you around this way, being really careful where I tread, don't want to ruin it. This area is now done. I think it looks absolutely amazing. They still need to add the Cotswold stone at the end there, and they need to just, I think, finish off the buff there, but it's just going to look so much nicer. It's going to look so good. I really can't wait. They're moving the shed now on Monday, so today is Friday. Trying to get my days organised then. But yes, today is Friday. They're moving the shed on Monday, but this is all done, and by tomorrow it should hopefully be ready for me to put some bits on. Although they did say they're going to come back on Monday and clean everything, so might have to wait until Monday or even into next week to be able to get all of my plants down here up onto here. But it's just looking so much nicer. This is obviously looking really good as well. This was obviously done yesterday. They've laid some soil. They still need to cut this turf. It's not soil, it's turf. They need to cut the turf because we've obviously got some little gaps and stuff which they're going to fill, but they've watered it, and that's what that one's looking like at the moment. But the new thing is obviously my path is in, and how nice does my path look. I'm so excited for this. Again, they're just going to fill in that little area there. I've got some lights that I'm going to put in, like some sunken lights, and I just think it's going to look so nice at night, all lit up, especially because I've already got the lights up on the fence as well. And then obviously down here is the shed base, which hasn't changed. That's still the same. That's where the shed's going to go. And yeah, I'm just really happy. I think it's going to look so nice. This bit, again, I think they're just going to give me some soil and hope that some grass grows. It will grow. As you can see though, obviously as they've like dug up, there's so many rocks and stuff. I've got a guy who helps with my lawn. He just comes like a couple of times a year to just, you know, to do a little lawn treatment because the lawn needs it. So I'm hoping he can come in a couple of weeks to just get my lawn hopefully in a really good spot. But yeah, I'm so happy with it. Around here we've got more of the shingle as well, so that's gone around there. And at the back, this used to all be purple slate, which is the stuff that's still round the oh, I just trod on that, I hope that's okay. Oops. Which used to be all round here. You can see it there. So they've dug all of that up and put down the white instead, which I think just looks really, really nice and just looks a lot cleaner. So yeah, I'm so happy with how this is looking. I just can't wait for it all to be done now. And this is the front. We have some Cotswold stone in, which is just looking a whole lot better than it currently did beforehand. This is getting extended, but I think it's actually happening tomorrow. So they were just I think prepping the ground, because as you can see there's quite a lot of stones underneath. But yeah, this is going to look really nice. We're going to do a block edging and then just slightly extend the path just so it just looks a bit smarter. And then they just need to rake all of this out just so that it looks, you know, just nice and finished. But it already looks so much better. I'm so happy with how this looks. And then tomorrow the purple slate is going in the middle just to make sure that it's all aligned and it all looks the same. But yeah, and obviously that block paving is getting done properly. But yeah, I'm not block paving, block edging. But yeah, I'm so happy with how this is all coming together. They think tomorrow might be the last day and they're going to be here for about half a day. So very excited that it might almost be done and I can start to put everything back in my garden. It is the end of day 5 and my gosh, have we made some progress today. We are like 95% done now. Obviously all the tools are still here. They're actually working on a job around the corner on Monday, so they're back Monday. Today is Saturday. They're gonna be back Monday to obviously move all of these and more importantly move the shed, because the shed's still here, but because they've got a job around the corner they're going to leave the tools here. And then when they come around on Monday to move the shed, they're going to take all the tools away and it's basically done. But this is what it looks like. I honestly think having all this done has just made the garden look and feel so much bigger. Yeah, I can't go over how big it's looking. So we'll just ignore all of their tools. But obviously we have of the path still. We have this shed base at the bottom. Some of that turf got cut and laid. I need to reseed the other bits. And I have some seating over here. So these seats were just in the shed. I've got them out to put here, and obviously I've moved all of my plants from down there over to here. This isn't exactly where they're going to be staying because obviously the shed's going to be moving. So, oh, that's my reflection. It's a little bit warm today. So some of these plants are going to go over in the corner. I think these seats will probably stay here. I also think I'm going to be moving that seating table over to there for the time being where the shed currently is. So it's going to be a mix of like seating on these green chairs and seating on the table and chairs. And then when I've saved up a few more pennies, it will be a much bigger lounge set that's actually going to go here, which I'm really excited about because I just think it's going to look amazing. My vision here is to have a pergola and it's to have a seating area or a really nice, quite big dining table with chairs to be able to host and entertain. And I'm so excited. Obviously, I've just got the table here with 4 of the chairs. It obviously looks really small now. It didn't used to look this small, but obviously there's so much space. I think over in this corner is where I'm going to do a form of like an outdoor kitchen. I think either in this space here or this space here. I don't know if this is going to be slightly too close to the window to do, but definitely I'm thinking in this space here. It gets a lot of shade during the day. It's obviously furthest away from where the seating area will be over that side. It's in the shade, so I just feel like this is the perfect spot to do almost a form of like an outdoor kitchen type thing. So yeah, we shall see, but that's the kind of goal. And then obviously, I think I mentioned this before, but all along here I'm going to put some planters just to add a little bit of greenery. So I'm actually going to kind of cover all this grass up, get some more Cotswold stone to have on top, and then put the planters on top, and then obviously get some plants to go in said planters, because I just feel like it could do with a bit more like flower, a bit more colour in this garden. So obviously I've got my little plants at the top there, which I absolutely love. And then the idea is to bring in some colours down the side here. And then also the goal is obviously, because this is a new build, it is a little bit overlooked. Can't avoid that. I feel like most homes are overlooked unless you're like in the middle of the countryside. It's just the fact that new builds are obviously new, so there isn't a chance for any growth to have happened. So the goal is to put in some planters along the bottom here, and then have trees, which will be really nice, and then put in planters down this side as well, just to again bring in a bit more colour to this garden. And then this lawn is still pretty chunky, I think. Definitely need to get the lawn guy back round, because I mean the lawn is not looking great. I've just done a bit of weeding because oh my god, why is it that you weed and then within like 2 weeks they're all back up again? But it just means I've got all these like little holes that need to be filled. So I desperately need my lawnmower to come back. And look what having my pots on here for like almost a week did. Looks a bit funky, doesn't it? So yeah, can't wait for this to be finally done. So I'll be back on Monday with the final transformation. I should also say that the front is also done. I just think this looks so much nicer. I mean, look how much nicer that front door looks now that it's a little bit wider. The door is really dirty, so I definitely need to give that a little clean. I did move the pots around. These are really easy to move. These bad boys were not. These are obviously the lavenders that were here before that I've potted up. They're not looking super hot. That's the only thing I would say. They're definitely not looking super hot. So I'm hoping that they, I don't know, recover. If not, they'll be out of here and something else will be planted in. And then these two little bushes were actually plants that were already here that I dug up, and I potted them in the hope that they do well as well. So yeah, this is just my little smaller lavender, and these two are plants that my mum gave me. So I wanted to keep those in the pots, and I think they look quite nice. So yeah, super happy with how the front is looking. Just need the back to be finally finished. Would you look at that? That shed has finally moved. The shed is now in its rightful spot at the bottom of the garden, and I'm just very happy that it's no longer taking up the sunniest spot of the garden. It's down here. I do need to paint the front and the side of the garden shed because I painted the other side, but I want it in the green, so I'm going to paint the shed at some point. I also need to paint these fence panels because these ones have not been done, as you can see. But I'm very happy with the fact that the shed has been moved. I've got some garden furniture in its place. I love these chairs. I got these off Amazon. They are so comfy. Definitely need to do a little bit of weeding to some of these slabs that were by the shed, and I definitely want to maybe get a bit of a jet washer on this as well, just to see if I can, clean it up a little bit. But these chairs are so comfy. I got these from Amazon. I've moved some of my plants. So I've got my little olive tree at the back there. I've got these two little plants behind there as well. I've obviously got the table out still. I did end up yesterday ordering a sofa set to go here, and I just think it's going to look so nice. I've gone for a sofa and 2 chairs and a coffee table, and I've got a rug as well. And I just think it's going to look like such a nice space to have the sofa, the 2 chairs there, and then also have these 2 little chairs as well. These are like my little sun trap chairs. And then I've kind of run out of money, I'm not going to lie, so I'm not changing the table and chairs just yet. I'd love to at some point. I might just have to see if any really good deals come up at the end of summer, but right now this table and these 4 chairs are just going to do me. I do have some extra chairs so I can turn it into a bit of a table of 6, but do you know what, we've just got to make it work because this has cost a pretty penny, and I don't have unlimited funds. I really wish I did. I don't. So this is the way the garden's looking. It's still looking a little bit sorry. It's obviously only been a couple of days, but yeah, I'm really hoping some of this grass grows back because it's not looking too hot. One of the things that is definitely becoming quite apparent is that I absolutely need way more plants than what I've currently got. I need so many more plants. So yeah, and I also am thinking, I don't know if I want to do something on this back fence here, make it a bit more of a feature. I'm not sure what that would be yet, but something anyway. But yeah, that's just the thoughts that go through my head now that the garden is finished. But I am so happy with this space. I just can't get over how much space I've got. If I just walk back here, I'll just hopefully put it a bit more in perspective for you all. But yeah, so this is the whole entire back garden, and I'm so happy with it. I'm just ecstatic with how well this has turned out. And yeah, look at that nice sunny spot that the shed used to be in. Why the hell they would put the shed there, I don't know. But yeah, I'm so happy with how this is looking. I'm so pleased I did it. Well, hello there. It is day, I've lost count, but the garden is finished and I have some garden furniture, which I am very excited to share with you. This is also incredibly comfy. I decided to go for a 3-seater, 2 armchairs, and then that's a bit of like a nest of tables. So there's a smaller table underneath, and obviously I've got a little rug as well. So I got the sofa and the chair set from John Lewis. They're all sold individually. I actually got these when there was 20% off. Oh, and my neighbours just started mowing their lawn, so apologies if the sound's gone a bit funny now. But yeah, I got these when they were all 20% off. They are all sold individually, so you can kind of build your own set, I guess. I wanted the sofa with the 2 chairs. I just thought that that would fit the space the best. And I have to say, I think it fits it so well. I then here have my 2 green chairs, which I did have over in that corner, if you remember. I've just been doing a bit of potting, by the way, which is why if you can see little brown marks on the grass, it's because that's where I was potting the plants, and the compost seemed to miss most of the plant pots. I assume that's normal. But yeah, I've got these 2 chairs here. I love these. These are from Amazon. They're incredibly comfy. The shed's painted a very similar colour, or it will be. I haven't done the shed yet. So I just feel like it's going to tie in quite well. And then over here is my table and my chairs. Now, this was the existing set that I had that I have kept because budget just doesn't allow for anything new at the moment, but I think it works fine and it fits the space quite well. I quite like the fact there's a round table. I do feel like if I was to entertain, there is plenty of options for people to kind of sit and stuff. So yeah, I'm honestly, I'm so happy with that set. I do have a few more plants, which is very exciting. So I've just been potting up some new ones. I've got my olive tree over the back there looking stunning, along with some other plants as well. I also picked these solar lights up in Aldi, and I just think they look really nice. And I think they fit the space really well. The rug, I don't think I mentioned, is from Dunelm. I actually have the same runner in my hallway, and I liked it so much that when it went in the sale, I got the bigger size for outside. Not sure if I think it's the right size. I think something bigger would just look a bit odd, so quite happy with that. And then I've just been potting up some little plants today to add a little bit of colour and a little bit of growth to the garden. I do also have some others over this side as well. So yeah, this is where we are looking at the moment. The lights are all in. This is amazing. It literally looks like a little airport at night, like a little runway. Oh, I got a little sign for the shed. Just, in case you're not quite sure where you are, you're in the garden. These plants are also looking really good, and those are my lights up. So yeah, the garden, I can't believe I'm saying it, is like officially finished and with nice new furniture in, and I am so happy with this. The next step, which I don't think will be happening for a little bit, is all of this is going to get dug out. Now, I was going to put raised planters, but actually, because it's quite an even edge, I'm thinking I might just have it as like a flat border rather than like a raised border, or like raised beds. But let me know what you think. I'm in 2 minds about it. Then what will be happening down the bottom here is this will be dug out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like a couple of feet wide. And I'm getting trees all along the back here because it's a new build. I'm obviously overlooked. So I want to add some trees. And then this side here, because this, I don't think it shows quite so well on camera, but it actually slopes quite a bit in real life. So I can't get raised beds. So I think this is going to have to be just like cut out as a bed, as a border. But yeah, not sure whether to go for curved, slightly curved, like squiggle, or keep it straight. Everything else is very straight lines in this garden, so I feel like it should be straight, but then I'm wondering, would a bit of a curve or a swivel actually just add a bit more interest to the garden? So yeah, let me know what you think. And also, this raises up quite a bit, as you can see, with the crap little turf that has been put in. So yeah, need to figure out what's going to happen there. But this is the garden, which I'm very, very excited about. I'm so pleased with how it looks, and I just hope the British summer knows that it's summer and that we can get some nice sunny weather so I can spend my time out here. But yeah, I'll also show you the front because that's had a ever so slight little glow up as well. So I'll show you the front, and that'll be it for all the garden vlogs, I think. No more until the next phase starts, whenever that will be. So this is the front of the garden, pretty much all done now. I've got little fake trees here that I've put in. These were from Habitat. I've also got a little wreath on the door there, which I'm absolutely in love with. Really, really love that. And then we've just got some lavender along the front here, along with some shrubs that were previously at the front that I've potted. And I'm just so pleased with how this looks. I think this is honestly looking fab. I'm really, really happy. And yeah, very happy that this is now the front of my house. I think it's looking stunning.